But Island
And we're
isn't. But we just have. That doesn't mean it's gonna make it to the poster.
The only one I'll mention, like, I've been watching.
I've got some pitches on some stuff here.
Was that mini series on Netflix, because it's about the mind and memory and stuff, and that kind of relates.
All right. Okay. Let me hear you all.
Testing.
Kelly is not close
enough
at all.
Oh, that
That's
just
okay.
came off entirely.
Oh, Don.
She's so strong.
It's all that baby weight.
Right?
Got more torque.
I don't think it's all the way in.
Should I have it? I'm trying to make it as low as probably better. Thank you, Bill.
You can probably just
Thank you,
angle
Bill, for
it
not
a little
letting
bit
that go.
closer. I can scooch and sit up a little straight.
Really?
Yeah, I can.
That's fine.
Yeah, you
just
can.
angle this a little and
There's
then
that.
good. There. How about
There.
this?
That's a little closer to
Testing.
you.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
The invisible man was denied a bank loan. The invisible man.
Is that recording?
Denied. I believe it is.
Oh, good
Oh,
stuff.
oh, good.
Good
There you
stuff.
go.
Okay, well, let's just have a show then.
Catch that. This episode of Movie Chatter Podcast was recorded on September 15th, 2019. Today we get right to it with two reviews. One's a secret and one's about strippers. In The Hustler, we talk about 1988, our favorite movies. Everything from Die Hard to Beetlejuice. Lots of stuff that we were watching like Dark Crystal, Carnival Row. Bill saw Midnight Meat Train. All this and so much more on this episode of Movie Chatter Podcast. From Milwaukee, it's Movie Chatter.
A movie review, yay!
Yeah. Hey, let's get right
That's why
to
we're
it.
here.
What did I go see?
That's what we're
saw
here for.
Chapter 2.
Oh,
Yes.
you did you?
I
knew it.
went and
I
saw-
knew it.
You
went-
snuck it in during
I
your
see.
fun week.
I knew you
snuck
would.
it in.
We all kind of figured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a good idea or not.
When did you see it?
Oh, really?
You didn't
3
see it at like
hours.
10 in the morning or something,
Uh,
did you?
good question. Very
question,
early in the
Kelly.
morning.
Okay.
Very early in the
Uh-huh.
morning.
Oh, well, that
Because of your wonky schedule?
This
Yes.
movie is 3 hours, 10 minutes, something like that.
No, it's
249, actually, pretty
249.
long.
Oh, okay.
249. It
That's a
feels.
long movie.
It feels all of 249.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I've heard. It was
They
a
need
little
to-
slow at parts.
They need to trim it down to 149. Well, we can get more into that later.
They need to do a lot to it to make it fantastic,
Okay.
but not a complete disaster.
Give us
Okay,
the general
all right.
premise. We all know.
27 years later, all the kids come back to Derry and
Yeah.
deal with
And
it.
and why?
And why.
They're called back? What's the premise of why they end up going back? Because they're all on their own walks of life at this point, right?
Right.
A devastating phone call brings them back.
Right. I was like, what's the trigger?
Isaiah Mustafa
Uh-huh.
is Mike, and he never left Derry.
Okay.
And something happens, and like he's, he thinks that it's happening again,
Uh-huh.
and he calls everybody back.
Okay. So it's a rally. It's a rally
It's a
cry.
rally,
It's a rally.
so that's kind of generic.
Get
where,
everybody back to defeat
that. That's what's taking so
evil
long. You have to
clown.
go and see what everybody's doing
doing.
Okay.
as they get called
Ah,
back.
okay.
So like mini backstory.
A lot of backstories, a lot of pre-excitement build up.
Right, but it's good. I mean, the production value
Oh.
and the sound and everything is fantastic.
All right.
Acting, fantastic. There's
Even
nothing
Bill
I could...
Hader is Bill
Bill
Hader.
Hader is phenomenal.
James McAvoy, how's he?
Great.
I love him.
Jessica Chastain, how's she?
Beautiful.
There you go. And Isaiah Mustafa.
He's great.
There
Yeah,
you go. Okay.
And
So it sounds like casting and acting. Check.
check. Yeah, right off the sheet here.
What else?
Beautiful casting. The problem with the movie is it's not scary.
Now we get to.
Oh.
So if you are
What do
going
you-
to see this movie
Yeah.
for a scary movie, I would
Don't
call
bother.
it more of a horror movie. Like, it's like going to see.
What's the difference?
Yeah, what are we talking about?
The Creature from the Black Lagoon might be like a horror movie.
Oh, okay.
Or like a Dracula.
Okay, more of just
A story?
monster movie-ish?
It's because the bar has been changed now. A movie like Midsommar is like disturbing. Your mind is screwed up.
You can't sleep that night.
Right. This is not like that. Unless you're 11 or 12, which I would encourage if you have a kid, 11 or 12.
You would
to
encourage
go see it?
if you want to scare the bejesus
I think
out
it's
of
a
your
good
child.
It's a good starter horror movie. Apparently.
It is. I think it is. It would be great to see both of these back to back. Well, the first It is terrifying. to
Right.
me.
Well, and I saw the
Yeah.
first It as a child, and I thought it was terrifying.
The original
no,
way back.
No, I'm saying the first It.
The
Right.
newest
The
version.
newest
Oh,
version.
gotcha,
the reboot.
gotcha. The reboot.
Okay.
That's a scary movie.
Yeah.
And very well made.
I don't know if I ever saw that original. Did you think the original was really scary?
Yeah. I
What
mean,
about and
but
what about you?
through the
I
lens of
did.
a child.
Okay, true.
I
Good
saw
point.
the TV
Good point.
series.
Yeah, I didn't think that was that scary.
The original It or the remake?
Right. This one would not scare me even if I was,
Even if you were 12?
alone
Oh,
and
okay.
in the perfect setting, basement, alone in the house, dark.
Okay.
Wouldn't scare me. Maybe a little creepy.
Like a creepy old lady knocks at your door while you're watching it.
Ooh.
Right.
Offers you cookies.
Yeah.
That scene that they kept on showing over and over with the lady with the cookies.
With the cookies,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Turns
You-
into
you-
a monster.
Right, you see that it doesn't really go much farther. It goes about another 10, 15
See,
seconds.
that's what we were afraid of. That
Right.
trailer was
Do you-
pushed too hard.
Do you see her? Did you just see basically the full
Yeah,
shot
like,
of her?
like a naked old
Yeah.
floppy
I love to do
lady,
that.
gross. Yeah, it's just gross.
Cool.
Not
they put
scary,
like
just
floppy
gross.
boobs and everything, and
Sure.
it makes it horrible.
Like in Hellboy.
Right.
The new Hellboy. There's a
Now that would have been the situation where if they would have used the lady from Hellboy in this,
very scary
it
character.
would have been
Better placement.
it would have been incredible. That would have made
Oh, really?
because this was just kind of a not that scary.
Okay.
Just gross.
No, I mean not that fantastic of an effect.
Okay.
Nothing was bad, but it wasn't
But
like
nothing was fantastic.
there was a homage to John Carpenter's. What would we do? The Thing, or would it be Alien?
No,
with
it's-
like a head
it's the
that
Thing.
crawls.
It's the Thing. In fact, it was a dog that
Yes.
turned into a monster, and in this case, you have a little fuzzy dog that turns into a monster.
There's no fuzzy dog in a monster.
I thought in It they had a dog that turned into a.
No, I'm talking about another scene which I'm not gonna say.
All
But
right.
there's like
No spoilers.
a head. Okay, I'm
Okay.
not gonna say whose head it is. A head that like grows like kind of spider legs and chases him
Oh,
around.
nice.
Okay.
That sounds
So-
creepy.
It sounds creepy, but it's not.
Still not
Scary.
terrifying?
Not terrifying.
Okay.
Not at all.
You're like, I could take care of that with a baseball bat, no problem.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean,
Moving on.
the movie is very good if you're not expecting it to be scary.
Okay, remember we did watch Hellboy, which we thought was real grotesque, and it wasn't a horror movie, it wasn't scary. Is it along that lines where it's a kind of a good story
It's
with?
a little scarier.
All right. I would hope so.
But in no time was I even, I'm a person that brings my hands in front of my face and peeks through my fingers like this a lot
Yeah.
at the theater. So at no point did I.
Not once.
Not
huh?
not once.
Wow.
I was
Right.
Any good Pennywise stuff?
Yeah, all good. All good. There was the one scene I would say there's a scene of Pennywise under the bleachers of a football game
Sounds
with
creepy.
a little girl.
Oh.
And that is about
That
the
sounds
best.
wrong.
That is the best use of Pennywise in the movie. I would have to say.
All right.
Very
That
good.
would terrify
very-
me. That would probably keep me up at night. But I'm a
Yeah,
sucker
now-
for things that have to do with small children.
It's
He's
a
planted
little
that.
girl. She's like following a lightning bug.
Right.
She's looking for it.
I
And-
love lightning
Oh.
bugs.
And everybody's watching
How
the
could you
game.
not follow a lightning
She
bug?
She goes underneath there, and all of a sudden it gets dark.
Oh.
And then Pennywise is there,
His
and
eyeballs
she
light
is
up.
smart enough to at least go. I'm going away
Oh,
from you.
shit.
I go,
Oh.
but then of course he starts. You don't like me, like being
I
sad.
would be like, nope, I don't.
yeah,
You
and then it
hope.
goes from there. But that was the best scene of the movie. Not scary at all. I'm gonna give it a good. Is it
rating?
good or bad?
Oh, okay, good or bad.
Yeah, old days when we used to say
okay.
good or
Oh,
bad.
very
Remember
good.
that?
Just thumbs
Yes,
up, thumb down.
just the most simple of.
It is a
critiques.
good. It's a good movie. If it was on Netflix, I would watch it. I would probably watch it again. It's just not scary. I'd give it a B. Just a straight B.
With
Oh,
all
pretty
these
good.
series that they're coming out, 3 hours, it could probably be a 40-minute.
There you go.
It might be more
Installment.
successful that way.
They
Yeah.
should have cut this down to a tight one.
A neater package.
159, like right under
So they could cut
2
out.
hours. They
cut
cut
out
out
a
a
full
lot.
50 minutes, basically.
Yeah, they don't need to
That's
go
a lot.
51.
That's a lot to cut out of a movie.
But I know I do have to say, if you're a fan of it, it's like seeing the Lord of the Rings, the long
Sure,
editions.
sure.
You want to see.
You like
all
to
the
see more
backstory.
Well, and
Oh, okay.
I imagine a lot of it is like crossover with book backstory too, like character stuff that you would not get in the movie otherwise. They
Right.
need that 50 minutes.
Right. It's good. Now, what impressed me the most about the entire movie, which I was completely unexpected, is how much of the back to the little kids. You know, the original
Oh.
cast from the first movie.
Sure.
They do that? A lot of
Like
Did they
flashbacks?
show like have scenes?
I mean,
Did
they
they
must
cover?
they must have, unless they're using like age changing stuff, you know, like Marvel. They must have recorded
A lot
45
of
minutes or an
extra stuff.
hour. There's an hour of the young kids in this movie. If you added it all together,
Huh.
and it's great where they do a lot of fading in and out, like a memory, and then like all of a sudden the pan it'll go from Jessica Chastain to
Interesting.
the other girl.
Yeah, they've got
Really good.
That to me, like, I think about that changing the sort of like focus and kind of talent that was involved in the project. Because if you're digging through old clips and you have to use that much of it for a movie,
They did
that's
so
like
much.
editing.
They did so much that I imagine they had to just know what they were doing ahead of time
Right.
and recorded all this. I mean,
Really?
you know, filmed it
You'd
because
have to.
because everybody's the correct age.
So they couldn't have done it now. You're saying?
I
These
don't think
kids-
so.
I doubt it. I don't.
No, I don't think so. They would all grow too much. The
Right.
kid with the glasses from Stranger Things. Who is it?
Who is it?
Richie, the one that
yeah.
that Bill Hader plays. He looks, the same age, and I know that he is a lot older now.
Right.
So he aged quickly.
It's hard to reverse engineer like 15 to 11. I mean, that's a huge
Right.
change.
This
of-
movie would be
True.
fantastic if you watched them back to back.
Okay.
It would be much better.
So
I mean,
you're-
One of them too.
entire day spent watching it. It'd be like 5 or 6 hours.
So if you're a big fan of it and you want to do like a marathon movie night,
Right.
Yeah.
You're
a
gonna
big
get plenty
high
of it.
recommendation.
You're gonna get
All
plenty
right.
of it.
I
Yeah.
have a question. So in the book,
Okay.
it's explained that it actually came from outer space before our solar system was even around,
True.
and
They go into that.
it was like sleeping, waiting, and then woke up in that town, and it goes.
Right.
So they explain that.
Right.
Do they explain how like his nemesis is this giant turtle?
No.
Okay, in the book,
Is it?
it's really weird, so I won't go into it, but just imagine that there's a turtle that is kind of the nemesis of this evil force that landed on Earth.
Okay.
And
Unless that got by me somehow.
okay, they show. I heard that they show a lot of different like statues of turtles and things throughout the movie to hint to the book,
Oh,
but it was just too much to cover.
Yeah,
Sure.
maybe I didn't
It would have
catch
to
that.
turn into a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. So
But had you read the book, you
might say, oh, okay.
Right, but I think I was expecting scary, and
Didn't
All
get
right.
it.
All right. Well,
Okay.
so
So
there,
it's a B.
there you go. Let's wrap it up. A TV show review. Netflix. We're going to talk about Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
And The Island, and we're going to talk about it quickly.
Have we all seen it?
Probably everybody's seen a taste of it.
yes, I saw the first episode.
Bill,
Okay.
nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, you're the question man. I've seen like 5. Dave has seen maybe a 4.
And this is spelled I-land.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, like
Yeah.
Like first person.
iPod.
So a person might think, oh, this has something to do with like technology or something.
Yeah.
Like an iPad.
Although it is in all caps on purpose, so it's not like a throw to Apple I.
Okay.
Right. And
It's the trailer was great. The trailer got me. You know, it's one of those things where I'm on my phone all the time on Netflix, and I keep on hitting. You know, the on your phone it has coming soon.
Yep.
You ever see that?
Sure.
So I hit that all the time, and Island was always on, and it reminded
Kept pushing
me.
it.
The trailer was just like that. The Fry Festival.
oh, okay.
So I thought it had something to do with that. They made the trailer feel like
You were confused going in.
right. The actual trailer had like the swimming pigs on it,
Yeah.
and girls in bikinis, and all
That's
that.
very
kind of stuff.
confusing.
So is it sci-fi, horror,
nothing.
action?
It is sci-fi.
Okay.
It is sci-fi. Now you got to what episode, Don?
4-ish. So I'm in
Oh, so
enough
you-
to know
What's happening?
pretty much.
You pretty much know the entire thing.
Okay.
How many episodes are there?
7.
Okay.
And they got shorter. The last couple are like 35 minutes. I'm going to
Quickens.
say that they probably went, we don't think it's going to do good.
Oh, really?
Let's
Okay.
wrap it up.
I mean, let's just wrap this shit up. We
7
need to-
episodes, yeah. No actresses or actors that you would know of, except
Kate
for Kate,
Bo-
except for
Kate
Kate
Bosworth.
Bosworth.
Kate
Kate
Bosworth.
Bosworth.
Yeah.
Could you skip the ones in the middle and
Natalie
still know
Martinez
what's going
is
on?
really good.
I would
That's
go
a
on.
good question.
No.
That's a very
Okay.
good question to ask
No.
of a series.
You
No,
cannot.
but you could skip the whole thing and go. I don't. You know, Mary tells us not to talk about things that aren't very good, but I put so much time into this. That's the only reason I am going
So
to.
why?
talk about it.
Because after I saw one episode, I was like, meh, I'm good.
Yeah, and I talked to
Okay.
somebody at the gym that he turned it off within 5 minutes. He's
I
like,
could've.
Horrible.
I could have.
Interesting.
Now, for some reason,
I watched it because
Natalie Martinez.
you watched it and
Right.
you said Beth watched the whole thing, so I was like, oh, okay,
It must be decent.
This must be good, yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to get good. I'm surprised you're saying that.
Well, the thing is, I kind of right off the bat figured out like all the illogical stuff there was a reason for it. I wasn't just thinking like bad cast. So I'm going, why are they acting like this on an island? They immediately, they appear on an island with no memory of them of each other. They don't
It's a
know
mystery.
where they are,
Yep.
and
Real human instinct.
and I watch Survivor, so
Right.
I'm thinking, what would you immediately do?
I thought about that
Make a
too.
shelter.
I bet people who are fans of Survivor and the like of things like that
Yeah.
would probably be a little more attracted to this storyline. too.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
just naturally.
But I mean, like
And also,
within-
if you've seen like Lost as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
It's
that's
complete.
a lot of
It's-
similarities.
It's very
for
much
sure.
like Lost and Survivor. Like
I mean, I was really hoping for a Lost,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
which we didn't get. But I
No.
mean,
right. That's what I was hoping for.
one girl is tanning within an hour of being
Right.
there.
That's what
Yeah.
like
One guy's going swimming. It's like,
There was-
you have no food.
there was lots of things about that first episode that
Yeah.
was just a little too I was like, boy, you'd have to make this extremely creative to hook me after how many discrepancies of human nature
Well,
there
I'll tell
are
you the
going
one-
on right here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one moment
That's an excellent point.
that got me to watch it, which I just kind of locked in my head and said, keep watching it. In the beginning, Kate Bosworth is holding a knife,
Uh-huh.
and Chase, Natalie
Martinez.
Martinez, which is so lovely, probably the reason I watched
Right,
the whole
she is
thing.
She
gorgeous.
is lovely.
Whew.
She's feisty.
And
I like that.
feisty. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's probably 50% of the reason. But anyway,
Fair enough.
Sure.
she grabs the knife out of her hand, and then they're sitting around a little campfire. Or they're sitting around,
Yeah.
and Kate Bosworth says something, and I heard all of a sudden, and I rewound it to make
Oh,
sure it wasn't
sound
like
right in the background.
no, like her voice went digital, and I went, was that like?
Did
a
it really? I
stream?
missed that.
Yeah, she was
That was
like.
in the first episode. Did you see that?
No, but
No,
I
see.
wasn't watching it on a very good sound quality system,
Right,
so
I
maybe
listened
that's
to it on.
why.
I listened to it on extreme sound quality,
Ah.
and so I rewound it.
So you got
I
an
kept
early hint, is what you're saying.
I was
here.
like,
we're going pretty much towards spoiling this thing.
right, they might not even be.
Human.
They might not be human. Might not even be there.
Right. So
Okay.
you're really pushing the limit here of
Well, I don't think I want anybody to see this.
Okay, well then
We can
can we
spoil
just
I was
spoil
gonna
it?
say you
All
can.
right.
Are
Are
you
you guys
Here
gonna
it
watch?
is.
Are you gonna watch it anymore?
No.
No,
don't
I'm not.
watch
I was
it.
gonna say
Spoiler alert.
even if you didn't spoil it now, you can do it after the show because.
But I have to say though, I feel like they really tried. They just didn't. I think it was like a first time writer or a first time. I didn't look into it,
I didn't look
but
into
like
it
the
either.
director just tried too much.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you know, it was kind of like a
it was
color
ambitious.
trying too
paint by the
hard.
numbers.
Paint by numbers for sure. And it was like because when you first told me about it, the premise sounded very interesting. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that could be really cool.
Right.
But then it was like a swing and a miss to me.
I think
Yeah.
it was a really good concept that
Yes.
they didn't completely like flesh out.
Yeah, there you,
You
go.
know, they,
you need a little bit more creative direction
right.
in there and some flushing out of
Or other stuff we've been watching lately that's real detailed stories, they take the time to really flesh it out. This, they had a really cool idea, and if we are going to spoil it, it's a simulation.
Right.
So that's what it is. It's a computer simulation.
Wait, we better hit
Oh.
this.
Yeah.
Where's
Alright.
that?
This is deep dive.
Where's that deep
Spoiler
dive?
alert.
Okay, they're all in maximum security prison. They're all on death row,
Oh,
and
okay.
they
Now,
are.
see, I haven't even got that far yet.
Okay, they're all on
So
death
that's a
row.
spoiler to
So
me.
that-
That's
is
a Black Mirror
interesting.
show. There was a Black Mirror.
Right, so they
It's been
show.
done
So
before.
not, yeah, I was gonna say so not totally original. I did consider the fact that it was a simulated experience. That came out right away to me.
So what you have is one, the Natalie Martinez character somehow breaks loose and gets off or wakes up.
Right,
She
it's like-
wakes herself up, and
like
that's
a
your
glitch.
first clue.
It's a glitch.
Yeah, that's your first clue. You go from just being on the island to one episode where she's in like a lab on a gurney, and there's somebody talking to her, and you're like, oh,
Okay.
what the F just happened? And then it just gets really weird from there. She's,
Now-
So they are themselves in maximum security prisons, like
Yes.
those people.
Right, they're
It's
all-
not like
all
a
the-
character.
All
Okay.
of a
Nope,
sudden
they're
they
physical.
show. They actually show the facility, and it's like something right out of the Matrix,
I
where
was
they're
gonna
all
say,
floating
Matrix.
in water
okay.
with heart, with headgear on,
Sure.
Okay.
and
That's what
it's kind of like an experiment to, it's like why would you go? They kind of flesh out every question you have.
Mhm.
They kind of answer them because they know you're going to ask that,
right.
but they really don't do a great explanation.
What
They're
looks like the warden guy on the episode where that you were kind of this big reveal is, he goes, it's kind of like we wanted to see what would happen if everybody was given a second chance, so maybe it's a way to like maybe redeem yourself or something like
that's
that.
what it is.
So okay, there
That's
you go.
exactly
Oh.
what it is.
So you get
A probation test,
right,
if you will.
get put on an island with your memory wiped clean. You don't know what it is, and then what happens? Are you going to grab a knife and kill somebody? Are you going to be a
You know what?
helper?
Okay.
This
You're gonna
sounds
be-
pretty cool. They should have just did the reveal straight out,
Did
and
it
it could have
better.
been,
I agree. It was too much digging for me.
Yeah.
Like-
yeah.
Well,
And
they
now
did
you
know-
see whether these people, redeem
Well,
themselves or not.
they don't have Kate Bosworth times 10. So the level of actors just crashes.
All right.
And they're just like reading a script. And like the
Oh.
warden, terrible casting,
Yeah,
is
that guy, he's such a.
he is D-Day from Animal House. That's who that is.
That's who that
Oh.
And
is.
that's D-Day. Remember?
You know him from a lot of other stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah, D-Day.
But not believable as a warden.
Yeah.
No,
Wearing a big
no.
cowboy hat and a giant star on his.
He's very believable,
Sure.
but it's
Oh, boy.
it's way over the top. Like, everybody in Texas is terrible.
Right,
it was
in Texas.
pushing stuff down my throat a little too much.
That's
so.
what it was too that I didn't like about like the character design from the first episode. Everyone was so stereotypical.
Stereotypical.
It was
right.
like you have the feisty Latina, and then you have like the really bitchy redhead,
Right,
and you
you got
have
the-
like the brawny guy
the
that
crude, brawny guy.
that's also a rapist, of
That's
course.
also a
And he
Like,
really
it's-
is.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
You know?
But I mean, it was like it was not subtle in the
Right.
least.
So again, they had like good concept, but they needed to like flesh that out, get better writers
Mm-hmm.
to give them more depth and more
Did you get to
believability.
see?
Maybe.
Did you get to see where they were explaining or showing what each person actually did for their crime?
No, I haven't got that.
That
far.
would be
Oh,
interesting.
okay.
There you go.
Because like there was one that was clearly a doctor or something. Like she knew exactly what to do for
Yeah.
the medical attention
She
situation.
killed all her patients.
Wow, like serial killer style?
No, like she
Poison.
felt bad, so they were all going to be two
Terminal
So she,
patients.
yeah. Well, no, people that were saying
Angel of Death.
she was the angel of
There you
death.
go.
She euthanized
Youth
them.
25
them.
people.
Wow. Okay.
Without
So
the
like,
permission.
Jonestown meets euthanasia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Well, Kate Bosworth, nice little character. She drove her kids into a lake.
Yikes.
Oh, boy.
Like gave them cough syrup and then drove them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so everybody on the show
Wow.
is terrible.
What did Natalie Martinez do?
Knife somebody.
just flip.
She seemed good with a knife.
She did.
Uh,
Yeah, badass.
Right?
Yeah, she's a good fighter.
I liked
forgot,
that about
I mean,
it.
killed her mom.
What about the rapist guy?
Oh, actually,
He was a rapist.
Alex.
Oh.
I'm guessing.
yeah. Wait, do you want to get to the?
He was actually a Wall Street banker. No, something totally different.
Right.
Okay, we are
White
really
collar
spoiling
criminal.
the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Natalie Martinez actually is innocent,
Oh, there's your
and that
triple
really
twist.
that's
There you
like the
go.
last couple
There's
episodes.
your extra twist.
Right, her boyfriend in real life was actually. Show me more cast. Shit. I can't see. One of the other characters was her boyfriend,
Okay.
and
Oh.
he actually. They kept on showing flashbacks of her killing her mom, and he actually
He did
shot.
it.
He actually did it.
He did it.
So.
Well, she's
There you
just
go.
got a
So,
raw deal.
so it was a happy ending. Did
Okay.
the
yeah, was
people
there
running
Natalie
was
down
there
there
Martinez,
redemption?
she walks back into, and at the last episode, they really start cramming like some environmental shit in there,
Okay.
like that
Get there.
half the United States is already, the water has been coming in.
Oh, so this happens in the future as well?
I would think
Okay.
so. Yeah, that makes sense. A little futuristic.
So and you find out that Natalie Martinez has been in there for 25 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, so all the time on the
She
island
looked
and
that
stuff.
old.
Yeah.
No, that's her avatar.
Oh.
Everybody has an avatar of when they.
Do they go to the live
Of when the
people at the
crime
end?
was
Yeah,
committed?
they show her at the end, and she's
Is-
all wrinkly.
Is it just her aged, or do they have a
just
different
her
actor?
aged?
Okay.
And I have to say,
She's
that
still-
one bit of
still
makeup,
looks good.
That was done well?
it was phenomenal.
Okay.
They made her look so old that I was questioning if they actually used a different actress. But I guess not. So there you go.
Cool.
I give it a D plus.
D
Because I
plus.
Yeah.
did.
Whoa.
What am I gonna do? I don't know what to say, but
You can't win them all.
you can't win them all. Don't see it. We're going for a triple.
Ooh, are we gonna do?
We're gonna talk about a movie you saw last night.
There you go. Went to the theater, saw Hustlers.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Had a choice. Could have seen Good Boys or Hustlers, and we'll wait to find out which one I really should have seen. But I did go to see Hustlers.
According to the
And-
internet, it's the best movie of the year.
Wow. Well,
What's it about?
I
So-
really wanted to see it, so I'm excited for your review.
okay, here we go. So
I'm drinking
it's
this, Kelly.
it's
Okay.
J-Lo. It's
Okay.
Jennifer Lopez, who, by the way, is looking amazing at
Yeah.
50.
Gorgeous.
She's 50 in this movie.
I'm
and
55.
Okay,
It's
well-
not that old.
You don't look that.
You could totally date her, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah, perfect age. She's playing slightly younger, probably 40-ish.
Okay.
Then you have Constance Wu, who is from something that we've actually been watching at my house. Like, there's literally, it's only on the TV, Fresh Off the Boat,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
which is a really
It's a funny
show.
show.
It is a really funny show, super cute and wholesome. She's on there. She plays the mom, Jessica, and then you would also seen her on Crazy Rich Asians. So there's the two main characters, and it's basically strippers. So it wasn't all that hard to get me to go see this.
Right.
It's R.
It's R-rated.
So skin?
So you're gonna get skin. So you're not a lot of very lovely bodies. And J-Lo and Constance Wu, they're top line actors.
No nakedness.
No naked for them. J-Lo's never been. Her movies have really always been kind of critically not very well reviewed. So it's another reason I wanted to see it, is because people said this is her best
I
performance
did like
ever.
her on the last. She was on a TV show, a cop show.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was really
Something blue, maybe.
something really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good show.
So, anyways, it's they're strippers, and they are Let me see if I can
It's
just
a true story,
They're gonna
right?
hustle money out of the guys
Yeah, I got
that
it.
they're
Right.
stripping for,
Inspired by the viral New York Magazine article, Hustlers follows a crew of savvy former strip club employees who band together to turn the tables on their Wall Street clients.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Like, I want this to be true.
Right,
Is the
yeah.
thing.
and that is
Like,
exactly what they're going
We
for
hate
here.
those Wall Street.
Where it's,
Yes.
So it's with the backdrop of Wall Street crash of 2007. The movie goes from 2003 to present. So it starts with them just as strippers, and J-Lo's a single mom, and she's a great mom, of course, even though she's a stripper. And
strippers are all great moms. Don't we know this
we
from
know
every
this,
movie you've
absolutely.
ever seen? Yeah.
They have a heart of gold.
Yeah.
For sure, and they're in,
And
they're
a butt of gold.
and they're just doing it to pay for school, right?
Yeah.
Which of course Constance Wu goes to school at
Or
some
crack.
point during it.
Uh-huh. To be
and
something
there's-
really noble, like a
Right.
doctor, or research scientist.
And it's
or
relatively,
something.
it's a little bit more realistic. They do have, a couple of crack strippers in there too.
Mm-hmm.
But so Wall Street is the bad guy. They're technically who they're really stealing from in the end. So they don't ever really, say that. Like these people they're really stealing a lot of money from people, and they're fucking up a lot of lives.
How much are they
It's
stealing?
basically like credit card fraud, right?
Right.
They get their credit
give
card
us
on
a
file
number?
So
and
they're
they...
so they're ruining lives to the point where she's got this is in New York, penthouse apartments at some point where it's they make it so that they're basically maxing out these guys' corporate credit cards, and so that way we don't feel bad about the fact that these are just a bunch of thieves,
You're
really.
And they
stealing
don't
from a
want to
thief.
tell the
Right.
charge card company that
Right.
they were at a strip club.
Exactly, and they're also doing something that if the sexes were reversed in this, it would be really, really bad because they come up with a chemical cocktail that knocks these guys out and erases their memories.
Oh fuck!
And then they just basically do that, and then they're awake enough to sign the
off
credit
on the
card.
It's like
And
date
then
rape, but
it's
with
like
a credit
date rape,
card.
except it'll be like 5 girls. They've got this crew that
They're
goes
raping your
around.
wallet.
They get one pigeon, and then they bring them in, and then all of a sudden, come and meet my sisters, and then it's always a nice slow motion of 4 hot chicks just walking towards them, and then they start drinking, and eventually somebody sprinkles the stuff
They
in.
reel them in. And
They reel them in. So I don't want to give too much away, but it's a pretty good movie. I was expecting it to be a little bit more fun. That's why I was kind of doing it between
So
going
it's
to see.
more dark.
It was a little bit more drama. It was a
Okay.
little less like happy fun, and more like, Constance Wu, her character, she eventually has a kid, and I won't give too much away, but, they, after the crash of 2007, it makes it a lot harder for them to steal from these guys and stuff like that. And so they go through kind of a progression of until they kind of get, they might get caught. That's not
All
giving a
crime
lot.
all pyramid schemes, all crimes collapsing on themselves,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Somehow, they start bringing in other people to help them on their crew. They're, now they got like teams of people that are doing it, and now.
Is there anybody that's actually good in the movie?
J-Lo is a pretty good character. Constance Wu's a good character.
I mean, no,
like good people.
in the real world, are they good people?
Uh,
If this was your neighbor, would she be in jail?
Well, I think
Sure.
they'd all go to
Yeah.
jail.
Okay, so they're all bad people.
Yeah, they're all bad people, but we're
Okay.
Is it hard
like I
to
say,
watch this? Because they're in a way because you find yourself rooting for these bad girls.
Right.
Right. They did. At
like
some
a-
point, J-Lo kind of becomes a little bit of a darker character. So really, Constance Wu, her character in it, Destiny, is really the heroine of the movie.
Okay.
And she's the real main focus of it.
Is it like the Wolf of Wall Street where you're having fun? You're
Yeah.
kind of rooting for.
Right. Once they go on the roll and things start happening. So you do a lot of fun montages of them just screwing over guys and funny scenes like the one you see in the commercial where they're dragging the naked guy out of the thing and she immediately pretends it's her husband.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And then she
that
like
one.
hops in the car and
Right,
it's
and then it's like,
see ya.
it turns it off, so a lot of fun stuff like that. But then the drama, maybe it's a little long that way. It's an hour and 50 minutes. Maybe they could have trimmed it down a little bit.
Really?
Maybe a little bit. I mean, not any of the scenes in the club. Those were good. I'd keep those.
Okay.
Right.
But
No less skin.
yeah, not less.
How did you feel when you left, when you walked away from this movie?
Pretty good. Yeah, you feel like it comes to a decent conclusion, right? It's not
Okay.
like some bad ending. It's a relatively happy ending. In the end, it's a true story. So I guess because at the end they're kind of running through like what these women all get. It's not a mystery that they do get caught.
Right.
And they see, and they don't get all that much
Well,
time in jail.
let me ask you.
Blackmail only works until somebody's willing to fess up to what they did.
Yeah, exactly.
It has 88% Rotten Tomato.
Yeah.
Critic score.
Mm-hmm.
Audience is 70. Do you think that's accurate?
Right. So I think
Pretty good.
critics like it a little bit more, whereas like Good Boys, it's the exact opposite. A little less critic, a little more audience.
Okay.
And this probably because politically, it's got a good message. It's female empowering in a way.
Sure.
J-Lo plays the leader of this crew, and she's badass, and she does a pole dance demonstration that is just terrific, where she instructs. So she's
That's fun.
So she's really good.
I can see it on the screen here.
Yeah, she's actually really strong and does some
I
amazing
imagine.
acrobatic stuff on there. So all in all, I would say like a B would be my final grade, just because it's a great movie. You'd probably like it. These guys, I would say nobody here would probably want to go see it at the theater. You don't need to do that by any means. It's
Netflix.
Certainly Netflix or Redbox is good enough, but you'll want to see it. It's fun.
Okay.
It's a nice little time. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Well, how about we go to episode 88, the movies.
There are some good ones.
1988.
I thought we had peaked and we were going downhill, but then when I looked at the list, in truth, there are a lot of good ones.
How about that, huh?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
There's one of them.
Yeah, that's Bill. That's got to be in your top 25 of all time, right?
It
Bill?
is.
That's got to be on a lot of
I-
people's
I'm-
top 25.
I've watched that movie so many times.
And we're talking about
Bruce Willis in Die Hard.
fantastic.
Yeah.
One of his best.
Is that available anywhere? Can I see that?
You can rent it.
You
Amazon,
can rent it, okay.
You should own that, Don.
Netflix.
One of us must own it. Bill, you must own
I
that.
know,
On
right?
a,
I
D-
was
on a
shocked.
DVD for sure, right? We have it on DVD. I'm guaranteed. If I walk in the other room, I have it on DVD.
Really?
Guaranteed.
Or some special edition.
I'm sure I had it.
But it's like you
The
don't
original.
watch
Might have given it
DVDs
to you.
very much.
Okay, so that's a fan. So are we? There's so many good ones. It's going to be hard to do.
Right. Well, let's go by the domestic grosses.
Oh, okay.
So that's easiest to actually the best are pretty high up.
Can we do personal favorites too?
Rain Man
Oh, yeah,
number
we're going to have
one.
to.
For sure.
Yep.
Rain Man.
There you go. You got your Tom Cruise.
Got your
movie in
Tom
there.
Cruise number one, of course. I
Dustin
would say.
Hoffman.
Wapner.
Gotta watch.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
So good.
There you go.
Do you remember when some actress, was it possibly Angelina Jolie, actually went to Halloween as the lady,
Jessica
As a
Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
as Jessica
Yeah.
Rabbit. She had like the most.
And she was perfect.
It was perfect. It
I
was
do
like,
remember that.
Yeah.
Kathleen Turner.
I was just
the
gonna say
voice.
Kathleen Turner was the voice, which was she was phenomenal. She's got that deep, buttery
Yeah.
They
voice.
just draw me
Super
back.
sexy.
Mm.
I'm not bad.
I've seen that movie. I mean, probably 1,000 times.
Really?
It's good. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Coming to America.
Coming
So
to
funny.
America.
That's one of my
So
favorites.
funny.
Oh, funny.
He's supposed to do.
White Lotus.
They're coming out with another
White-
one. He's supposed.
They are
they're
redoing it.
Are we doing it?
You know what?
Really?
Zamunda was the original Wakanda.
Really?
No, I'm just saying,
Oh,
like
okay.
in movie world, it's funny. I actually
Right,
listen to a
right.
lot of that. You can see that one on You can listen to that one on listentoamovie.com.
Okay.
So I listened to a good portion of Coming to America, and it is funny because that's the mythical country is Zamunda
Okay.
that they're from, and it is so different from Wakanda. If you could juxtapose those two countries, it's really sexist. Boy, it's an awful thing that they do. If you listen to that movie, it is super, super sexist and
Kind of
awful.
telling of the times for sure.
Oh man, you never know why Zamunda is made so much money, but it's like the king is just really, really sexist. It's his 21st birthday, and they found the wife for him, right?
Right.
There's so many scenes where the father comes in. Who's that played by? That guy with
James
the
Earl Jones.
Thank you, James Earl Jones. He's like, this woman has been, training ever since she was
She'll
born.
throw rose petals at your feet all
to
day.
serve you,
Yes.
yes. And then he gets into the scene where he first meets her, and he's like, I want to know about you. What you like to do. anything
Whatever
you like.
you like.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Whatever music you like.
No, like what do you like? What are your favorite movies or whatever you it's just so crazy. What do you know? And then the father comes in. So it's really sexist and awful that way.
Well, then we don't need to see it again.
But at least it's redemptive in that that's not what he wants.
It's
He
true.
learns that like
Right.
a woman with a brain who has her own ambitions and goals is actually
Exactly.
like, more rewarding to be with. And
Who's,
Right.
who's the lead? The girl he falls for?
gosh, I
Not
can see her face, but I don't know that I can't
Okay.
remember her in anything else.
yeah, Sherry Headley, I'm
Okay.
guessing.
Arsenio Hall is his
Arsenio-
like best friend.
Right, does all the and that's a fun part of that movie is that they do so many
All the different characters.
all the different
that
characters
they do.
and
yeah.
Where did he go?
Arsenio. He's
He
he's
was-
going to be doing the remake with him.
Oh, really?
Is he?
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
Like-
So still funny.
Yeah.
Still super
Sexual
funny.
chocolate.
Sexual.
That's it. I have to just
Tom Hanks in Big.
Big.
There
Another
you go.
absolute classic. Would be on my poll, I think.
Twins. Can't believe that made enough, but Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
They've remade that movie too, I'm pretty sure.
They're talking about
They were big
doing it
actors at the
again
time.
with
Right.
Jason Mel. Am I saying this right? Jason Melboa.
Oh.
Oh,
Momoa.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Now, you,
I can never-
you goofed me
I
up
could
there.
see it as like
He's
The
gonna do
Rock
it
and Kevin
With
Hart.
the short guy.
There
in,
you go. That'd be
Game
a
of
good-
Thrones. You know the. I
Kevin
forgot.
Hart's too cool though. You got to get a little bit more geeky and
That's
old.
You
like,
guys seen Game of Thrones? There's
Yes.
a short guy.
Oh, yeah.
Tyrion, but
Yeah,
I,
Tyrion,
Yeah,
right.
I can't
So
think of his
imagine
name.
Peter
him,
Yeah.
Peter Duckler.
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
There you go.
Dinklage.
Peter Duckler. I went to school with him.
Crocodile Dundee. Then we
Well,
get.
that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Then we
Well,
get
this is
to
the second one, Crocodile Dundee 2.
It
oh,
is, yes.
okay.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
Oh, that's a little further down on the list than I would have thought. I guess it's the first
Nakatomi
one.
Plaza.
What number are we on?
That would
10-ish?
be number 7.
Okay.
Naked Gun.
Yep,
Funny.
another on
The
my
original
list.
Naked Gun.
Uh-huh.
So
That
So
was
good.
That was
Really
good.
funny.
First came up with that.
Tom Cruise back at number 9.
Who are those guys that do?
Cocktail.
Ooh, I like that movie.
Yeah, it's nostalgia.
Yeah, it's a fun one. Who's the actress in there? Is there anybody notable in? Sorry.
Not off the top of my head. Then we got Beetlejuice. I
Beetlejuice.
can't believe that.
That's more towards the top of my
Michael
list.
Keaton.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is
Keaton.
at the time was just fantastic. I thought.
That is a classic.
Gina Davis is
Gina
like
Davis.
so
Never
young.
seen it. You gotta see Beetlejuice.
Working Girl. Love Working Girl.
Oh,
Oh.
Dave loves working.
I
Girl.
do for some reason. Probably. I don't know why.
The actress.
I love it.
Yeah, what's her name?
She's so sexy. And her
um,
daughters made all those
I watch all these
Grey.
trailers. I watched all these trailers.
Shades of Grey. Her daughter.
I can't.
Working Girls has got some huge hair. I watched the trailer
Melanie
of this.
Griffith.
Melanie
Right.
Yes.
Griffith.
And her daughter now does all those Shades
And
of
Harrison
Grey.
Ford.
Harrison
Yep, yep.
Ford, and there's another actress that you would know in there. Well, several.
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cusack. Joan Cusack.
Really?
She's also in
young
there.
Joan.
Yeah, with the most hugest 80s
Everybody
hair.
had the biggest
It's like a
hair.
big mane.
It was a competition that everyone had
1980.
every day.
Yeah, that's the problem. This kind of year here
It's
is
very
very
dated.
dated.
Very dated for us.
Yeah, anything stylish right now.
Every
is
woman has like
shoulder pads,
and like all the Madonna type
bling,
bling
Yeah.
everywhere.
Big shoulder pads, right? A Fish Called Wanda.
You just saw that, didn't you?
I did actually watch it because of this. I did find that.
Did you listen to it or watch it?
I watched that. I
Okay.
actually searched it on the TV on Prime. And by the way, if you want to do this if you got Prime Video and you want to watch a movie from a particular year, just go to their search engine, put in the year, and then hit it, and every movie from that year will come up.
Oh,
That's
nice.
on Prime?
Yeah,
The
on
search
Prime.
engine? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that worked good. And then it'll usually tell you how you can watch it. You know, most of the movies aren't available on Prime Video, but this one was like, it said, watch now with commercials on IMDb TV. So I did that.
Yeah.
Oh my
Prime has
gosh.
some very slick features.
Yeah.
I noted a couple things I was going to mention when we
And
talked
they
about what we're
own
watching.
IMDb.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Amazon owns IMDb.
So anyways, the movie itself
That makes so much sense.
was
Great.
pretty damn funny.
That's why they don't advertise Netflix a lot of times on IMDb where it says shows where it can
That
be.
makes
Oh,
yeah.
right. Some serious competitor.
A lot of things just clicked for me because
Yeah.
of that. Yeah.
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 You don't advertise on somebody else's network.
I'm gonna have to skip a little bit here.
John Cleese, Kevin Kline, Jamie Lee Curtis looks fantastic. Talk about
How about the
enough
Great
to-
Outdoors?
I wrote
John
that down too.
Candy,
That's
God.
we used to
Oh.
watch
It's
that
stupid and fun.
once a
terrible.
week
Very
from the
simple.
library.
They don't make well now. A movie like that is what Adam Sandler, right?
Right. It's
Silly.
not a blockbuster.
No, it's not very good. It'll probably get a bad rating. But
Dan Aykroyd as well in there.
It was so good though.
It's kind of a wholesome movie you watch when you're 13 or something like that.
the original Child's Play.
Yeah, there was some other
Oh,
horrors.
So
that
that
you
just
had
came out at the
mentioned.
beginning
Chucky,
of.
right?
They redid that.
That's
Yeah.
fresh. That's been around ever since.
Yep.
That's Chucky, right?
How about
Stuck.
Scrooged? Is that a?
Yep, that's in there.
Yep.
Bill Murray doing a big Christmas movie.
Oh yeah.
Is
That's-
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels?
It is, yeah.
I have that on DVD.
Do you remember
Well.
Action Jackson?
No.
Like a remake of that toy. Remember the toy,
Oh
right?
sure, we had
He
those toys.
He had like the
Right.
muscles.
He had the flex. He had the bicep that got bigger when you flexed his arm.
Oh,
was
Funny
cool.
Farm is another comedy.
There you
from
go.
that I've-
Chevy Chase.
Yeah,
He was on a
yeah.
roll back then, just making a big movie every year, or
Yep,
at least a
yep.
movie. 65% Rotten Tomatoes.
Then it kind of it drops way down to like 75. They Live. Remember that with the glasses that you could see.
The aliens.
The aliens
Oh,
They're
yeah.
aliens. They're taking over.
It had like Rodney Piper, the wrestler, was the star of that movie.
Which one?
They Live.
Oh, nice.
How about Mystic Pizza?
Yeah, I just.
Hey.
Famous.
Yeah.
Put Julia. What's her name?
Cher. No. Julie Roberts.
Bette
Julia
Midler.
Roberts.
Is that
Put her on the
also
A lot. There was a. This is.
Mandy?
There was a lot of
Who's the
big
guy from
names
Mandy?
in that set off. the
Nicolas
career.
Cage?
Is that Nicolas Cage?
No.
No, what am I
He'd
thinking?
be
of?
too
Oh no,
young.
I'm thinking of something about
Valley Girl.
pizza. No.
I like. He likes
Moonstruck.
pi-
I'm thinking Moonstruck.
Oh,
He likes
Totally
pizza.
different.
I know that.
That's Cher. Yeah.
Married to the Mob. That was a bad.
The first remake of The Blob, and that's about it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not a great year.
Tapers off.
I mean, the best
we
There's
movie.
a
quite
lot
a
of
few.
good ones.
What do you think is the best movie of '88?
I mean, you know,
Your pick.
you said
you get to
Roger
watch.
Rabbit, Die Hard, Rain Man, Coming to America, Big,
Or which one would you watch tonight?
Beetlejuice.
Is there one that you would skip what you're gonna do besides going to get your pictures taken?
That's important.
But like, if you were gonna watch TV tonight, whatever you're gonna do, are any of these? If I handed you the DVD,
Like jumping out, like, oh, I haven't seen that, but I'm gonna watch
I'm gonna
it.
give you the 4K.
Yeah,
Any of
Ooh.
them?
it would be a mood thing.
It
Die
would
Hard.
be-
Would you watch Die Hard?
I've watched it so many times.
But that you wouldn't
you
watch
gotta
it
let-
tonight.
You have it memorized in your brain anyway.
You know, I would. I
could watch
I
it
would
on
enjoy
demand.
it. I would enjoy it. It is classic. It's fast paced. It's everything you want in an action movie. It's
Yeah.
such a cool.
It is
so,
a great. It's a classic.
Right.
And right up there.
All takes place in this high rise. He's dropping bombs down the elevator. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean-
is it a Christmas movie?
It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, they say it's a Christmas
We
movie.
just, that's always a good
Yeah.
joke. Coming to America, I went out of my way to find a way to watch that, so I guess that one I would.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would
That's a
too.
fun one.
Jumping to the top for ones that I would rewatch
Yeah.
because it's been such a long time and I remember them being so awesome. Beetlejuice and Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
There
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, I think Beetlejuice just because I haven't seen it for
I know, and Michael
25
Keaton.
years.
Hey,
It's just
Halloween's
like
coming
the
up. That'd be a
best
good
role
one.
ever.
Yeah, good time of the year to see it.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like a scene in Beetlejuice where someone's fingers turned into giant shrimp?
Yes,
Wow.
That's what I remember. That's
Wow,
a
see, I
vivid
didn't
memory.
remember
I remember
that.
a lot of it. There's like a dinner party where everybody gets kind of like possessed for a second and they all do a coordinated dance.
Nice. I don't
Yeah,
remember
it
that
was
either.
fun.
That might
Yeah,
be good to
that's
get
great.
in like super high res just to see what the
Mhm.
effects.
I
were
would
like.
watch that tonight.
Sure, that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, how about we switch over to what you've been watching, Don? What have you been
Okay.
watching
Well,
besides all the stuff we just talked about?
Right.
I have
Anything
watched.
left?
Yeah, I watched. Oh, I know what I watched. A little bit more of Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance.
Mhm.
So I watched more of that, and then I came across a show about it called. Let me find my little page here.
Oh, you said it
Like
kind of
the making
explains
of?
it.
Yeah, it's called The Crystal Calls: The Making of the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. It's an hour and 20 minutes. It's on Netflix. It's a really good documentary.
I'm definitely
Yeah,
needing to see that.
if you're a big fan of the show or the movie, you're gonna see this. It's got a lot of good work with time with Simon Pegg, who does a voice in it.
Okay.
Also with Taron Egerton, or how do you say his name?
Taron, that's it.
Is that
Yeah.
it?
Rocket
And
Man.
then Natalie Dormer, who plays Deet, I think.
Yep.
Deet and what is Trevor's Rain?
Rian.
Yeah. And Simon Pegg plays a character. So you got that. It's just really, if you like the movie, it's going to be everything you want to know about it. Talk about things like there's a real podling language. You know, there's a linguist that actually went through and did all this stuff. So it's just a quality.
Yeah, they went all out, in depth.
It really shows you how much that this is just kind of a once in a lifetime undertaking that
That's-
Netflix did.
One thing I appreciate about just, and without having even seen that, like, people were called to work on this. Like,
Yeah.
artists were
Right.
like, oh, can I please be part of this
Right,
project? So
because
inevitably you get the best people.
You do, and it's got the top of the line of everything, and I think it's just, it really is, you see how it's, you talk about movies being art, this is one where you really,
It's a craft.
you see all the behind the scenes stuff, lets you see that, I mean, every set, every puppet, it's all handmade stuff. I mean, every one of those characters had almost every hair, like, hand,
Yes.
put into their costumes.
I watched
and
a
it's
6-minute
amazing.
video on Deet, like just the making of
Okay.
Deet. And that's
Right.
like, I mean, just hand carved,
Just
like clay
amazing.
to
From
begin
clay,
with, and
from
then
the
to the
artist.
casting, and then.
Oh, they talk about the main designer from the original movie, Brian Froud, and how that was the guy whose son, he's now like a major designer now. And so that goes through, how it was such a huge undertaking to do it, being live action. Actually, Netflix originally pitched and did a 6-minute trailer of a CGI Gelfling,
Yep.
and mixed with like a live action sex scenes, and they didn't like that, and they came up with
I'm
this.
so glad they went the other way.
Yeah, and it talks about the writing, how they mixed CGI and puppets, and then all the puppeteering, and so it answers a lot of questions. So
Okay.
I watched that.
All right.
Definitely recommend.
That's on my list to see.
What's it called one more time?
The Crystal Calls.
Oh, okay.
Should you not watch that until you finish the series, or?
It didn't really give away anything,
Okay.
but probably if you're somebody who doesn't know a lot about it.
It's for a super fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's
they,
me.
they do get into story stuff, and because they really, we talk about the island not fleshing out the story enough.
This was
they,
flushed.
I mean, flushed and fleshed and flushed.
Yeah.
And, they integrated all the fiction or the additional fiction since then into the storyline. So good stuff.
What were you,
Cool.
Kelly?
Cool. I did start watching Carnival Row. I couldn't help it
I watched
because
a couple
Don
more
was such
too.
an advocate too. So I'm 2 episodes in,
It's-
but I love it.
It's good. I think it could be.
Really good.
I mean, I think it could be. Is it like? Could it be?
It's just
Yeah, how
Game
good
of
does it
Thrones.
get?
Is it Game of Thrones? Like, could go on for 10 seasons?
probably.
I was gonna say
They
if
can
they kept
expand
up,
it, right?
if they kept up
Oh,
the
yeah.
quality, because you have so many different plot lines that you
Yes.
can explore,
They do.
and they have like. I mean, there's the classic things that entice you, right? Like there's the relationships and the sex and the violence, but there's the aristocracy and there's
Yeah.
political corruption and
Right.
class warfare.
It
and
is ripe for a lot of story
Yeah.
and expansion,
Yes.
and they can really dive deep into all these details that they're just beginning to flesh out. And I'm like 1 episode from finishing it, and it
Is there a
gets,
season 2 yet?
There's not a season 2, but I believe it's been already.
Done.
No, they said that they're gonna do one.
They're
Oh,
vetting
I,
it.
I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Boy,
What else did you? I
On
mean,
a killer sound system,
yeah.
I've only watched a few episodes, but
Uh-huh.
where they are coming upon like this gigantic wall and a little door to walk in,
Okay.
and you hear all this,
Oh yes.
and you're like, whoa, what
Yeah, what
is
is
behind
that?
there? And they look up, and everybody's
Fairies.
flying.
Just
Yeah.
dozens of
Like a
fairies.
swarm of fairies,
Yeah.
and the sound that makes
That does.
downstairs.
It's very cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Right.
the effects are they.
Mhm.
I feel like there was no
No, they definitely did not cheap out on that.
right.
No,
right.
they spent so much money that I
Mhm.
think they have to keep going.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's got some pretty good gore in it. I don't know if
Yes.
in the first couple episodes do you get some gore?
Oh
Like,
yeah, gutting people.
Yeah, gut.
Right,
So
right.
that's
like
a,
entrails
Right.
strewn
It's a
out.
bit of a
very
theme.
realistic.
there's a witch character in it that you're gonna love. I mean, I don't know if you've seen The Witch yet, but
Yeah.
she's just like like a regular person, but she's a witch. She's got these eyes
Yes.
and this face that
I'm
is
introduced
just,
to her.
oh yeah,
Cool.
You know, so a lot of really good characters.
And there's already been a couple of flipping of characters where you thought that you had their number, and then
Yes.
something happens where you're like, oh,
right,
you
not
have
so
a totally different MO than I thought at first. Like
Yeah.
there's a lot of good character development.
Right,
that'll
good
happen
writing
too.
that way for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it carries through. It might get a touch slow. I mean, it becomes a series where even Game of Thrones, there's not
Yes.
every episode is the best episode.
So
Some of them carry the
Right.
story forward.
one thing to mention about that is I feel like they have done a lot of work of backstory and that I wouldn't have necessarily known except for the features of Prime. I don't know how much you've done of watching on Amazon Prime, but so on your phone or on my TV, it's just like a one simple up arrow, but it pops up, gives you trivia about the backstory of the show. It'll say
really?
like, this particular species is known as one of the first native generational things of this land, and they were
Really?
displaced by so-and-so, and it gives you like story background, and
That's on your Prime menu.
yeah, or on your phone, if you're watching
On
it
your
on your phone, you just tap once, and it gives you all of the actors that are in that scene,
Yeah.
and you can like tap on any one of them, and then it pops up and tells you about them, tells you, oh, he spent this many hours in makeup every day for
Oh,
this
really?
scene. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Which makes
They
sense.
put a lot of work into this.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
takes a lot of work, and it's very well done, very seamless to kind of pop in and out of. So
Fun.
at the slow parts of the show,
You
you
do that.
can, yeah, exactly. You could hook
Excellent.
people that way.
Yeah, I would say definitely it's a good watch. I'm another one. The Boys that we just finished. I would say I'm judging Amazon Prime. It's right there. I mean, it's that quality. It's different, obviously very different, but it's another really good series.
Mm-hmm.
Where they missed on that The Good Omen or whatever that one was
Right.
called. They definitely hit on this one.
Oh, they've been doing better than Netflix.
Yeah, well,
For
the
sure.
the features of a streaming platform are going to be rapidly what sets one apart over the other. They're in steep competition right now,
That's
right?
true,
But
right?
something like that where, I can tap on the scene, and especially kind of people that are fidgety and are not used to just sitting on their hands and watching something, those kind of features will move more users
Did
that
they
way.
give you
sure.
Carnival Row?
Gives you something to do.
Did they give you all of them at once?
They did.
Okay, because I know
Yeah,
that.
Prime works the same that way, doesn't it?
No, that's Hulu that does it.
Hulu, right?
But I heard Netflix is gonna go back to Hulu. They're
Episode
gonna.
releases
Yeah,
after
they're
time.
not gonna let you have everything at once anymore.
What? That's like the whole thing. Netflix
Well,
and chill.
I mean, on the stuff that they have out right now,
Okay.
but upcoming blockbuster type series, they're gonna.
They gotta draw it out a little.
Yeah, they're trying to.
Makes sense.
it's
Makes
something.
sense.
Why just binge it all?
How
about
been
you?
watching
How-
anything else?
I am also, just to mention real quick, back to Netflix. I watched several episodes of a mini series called The Mind Explained.
Okay.
I
And the
have seen the
episodes,
trailer.
yeah, they're only like 20 minutes long, narrated by Emma Stone. And if you have any interest in like neurology or like the science behind the workings of the mind, they're very interesting and quick, like just quick to digest.
I
But
love 20 minutes.
yes, exactly. I mean, you can have it on in the background, and they were just interesting. And
Interesting topics.
yes, so I watched one on memory, one on dreams, and one on anxiety.
Ooh, I have all those things.
Right. And it was, so you'll come up with a few tidbits on any one of those that you watch. I think there was only 5 of them, but
Anybody
worth
can
watching
relate
if
to
you have any interest in that.
That's called what again?
The Mind Explained.
Mind Explained.
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
And one thing that really caught my attention in relation to the island is like if you truly had no memory of who you were, like
How you act.
Yes, how that
Mm.
like informs how you act now. And one thing to think about is that when you don't have memory, you are that much more unable to imagine. That's part of what that episode explains. It's like
Interesting.
yeah, so they had a couple of examples of patients who had, either brain surgery or were in a motorcycle accident or something. And it's like, if you think about it, when you let your mind wander, it's half memory, half imagine.
Yeah.
So if you take away your memory,
You can't use that
they couldn't imagine the future. Like one of the patients described it as, if you tell me to think about the future, it's like trying to find a chair in an empty room.
There you go. You have nothing to work with.
Yes.
Horrible.
Exactly. So just really interesting. But yeah.
That's fun.
Right, I don't think they could make the island that realistic because
No.
it would just be a bunch of babies sitting in the sand.
Right.
You know, and just sitting there.
That's a
going,
fun
what?
show.
Right.
What are these for? What are my, I mean, really, I mean, if all of a sudden you were wiped, you'd be like,
Yeah, if they really wiped like
you look in your
completely.
pants. Where does?
I'm angry. Why does my tummy hurt? Yeah.
How about you,
What
Bill?
about you, Bill?
Yeah, I watched for the second time a show on Netflix called iBoy. It's an action, crime, sci-fi movie.
Is it new?
How
When did it come out?
Lowercase
How
I?
quick did
I
you
think
watch
la-
them back to back?
Yeah, like iPad, iPhone.
Okay.
In fact, that's where it gets the name. So he's this lanky, almost kind of ugly teenager that witnesses his friend, his girlfriend next door. It's like in the slums of London, getting raped. Okay, and he tries to break it up, and then they chase him with a gun, and he's calling 911 using his cell phone. The bullet hits the phone and shoots pieces into his brain. Okay, so
Wow,
now
that's the premise.
that's the premise, and so
Okay.
now he finds out he can control cell phones, and you think, well, how's that going to help you? Let's say you wanted to like get revenge on these bad gangster guys.
Yeah.
How can you use that power to do it? And he does, and so I thought that was
I can
kind of
think of
clever.
a lot of things to do.
And they
Right,
did it
I
with
was
some
gonna say.
good special effects. It's not a high. It's good acting. The two leads are. You never heard of the guy that Bill Miner, small parts, but Macy Williams. She's Arya Stark in Game of Thrones.
Okay.
She's like a young girl in that. So good acting. So I recommend it. I'll give it a Wednesday.
Okay. Okay.
How you said you saw it twice? How close did you like?
Probably
Months?
like a year ago.
Oh, it's been out for a while.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
been out, but for some reason
2017?
it popped up on my screen and I go, oh yeah, and I forgot about it. I don't know, I forgot about it, and yet it goes kind of
Hooked you in
quickly.
again.
Yeah, and I go, I vaguely remember this. Maybe I watched it half sleeping or something
sure.
last time, but anyway.
Did you watch it like upright, or you folding?
Yeah, on this one, no, I just watched it. I was just kind of caught my attention. In fact, I had to go back sometimes and watch the rest of it, so I couldn't watch it all at once.
Cool.
So I even watched it like the next day.
How do you rate it?
I'll give it a B- Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
The idea of being able to control phones is pretty powerful. I mean,
It
that
is.
could go in a lot of ways.
You could be sending like text to people, like bad text, right?
Yeah, you could really.
You could do so
You could
much.
really
Oh my
fuck
god.
with
And they do all that. That's right. Yeah,
oh,
they do
see?
all yep.
Now it's got my attention.
Yep.
Does it make you second guess the next text you got? Like,
Yeah.
was that really you?
Was that from somebody control the phone?
No, nobody knows he has this power, or do they? All right.
What else?
Can't believe this, but back in 2008, Bradley Cooper did a movie,
Love him.
R-rated horror movie. It was so gross I could hardly watch it. I go, well,
10
I've
years
got to
ago.
watch this because I got to talk about it on Movie Chatter. So I went through it, but I would normally, this would have been
Yeah.
too much for me. This is a lot
too
of
much
gruesome gore.
It's a lot
Okay.
of gore.
It's a
This
lot.
is a lot of blood. A lot of blood.
What's it
So,
called?
It's called Midnight Meat Train.
Well, there you go. That sounds like gore right off the
Yeah.
title.
Right.
I've seen it.
I've seen
Okay,
it too.
all right. Wes Craven, director, you know, he does Hellraiser.
Sure. Scream.
Okay. Brooke Shields
in the
is in
day.
it.
Brooke
Leslie
Shields
Bibb.
is in it.
Yeah, and
She plays
the guy who
girlfriend?
plays the Juggernaut on X-Men, Vinnie Jones.
Okay.
He's this bad
Big guy.
that cut
Big.
people up that take the subway. And you
Ah,
think you're
I
getting
gotcha.
home, and all of a sudden, it goes to a different, it goes to a different spot.
Did you look to see
It
if
gets that like hostile feel, you know, like people getting cut up.
Definitely,
And,
definitely.
scary. Don't
Is
go
it-
into
Yeah.
this room because somebody's gonna take a chainsaw to your leg.
is it before Limitless? Bradley Cooper. Is this
No.
his first movie?
No, this is one of his first ones.
Okay.
2009, he does
Yeah.
Hangover. Then 2012, Silver Lining Playbook. 2018, Stars Born. Maybe Limitless is on either side of that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Just as getting popular.
I just remember it being again that I would consider this not a scary movie, but gory.
Right.
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 More gore.
And the whole thing is he's a photographer, and Brooke Shields runs this art studio, and some of his pictures that he took where he said, I want more of this and more of this. He took like pictures of crime, like in the process.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we want more of that. So he kind of gets whiff of this guy that's killing people on the subway, and he pursues it.
I do remember it being a pretty good movie.
Stalking a stalker?
So if you like horror,
I like horror, love horror,
Dave,
but
but you saw it, huh?
horror
How would you
mystery.
rate it, Dave?
I would give it a, nowadays, I haven't seen it since it came out, but a C.
Okay.
I've never seen it
Smart.
again. Will you ever see it again, Bill?
No.
We need to have like an entire discussion, get Nick back here, talk about horror, because it's changed so much, and, you get used to it. If you took someone that never saw any horror movies, I'm sure they would be affected
Exactly.
greatly. It's
Right.
kind of like,
The genre keeps evolving.
I have a thought about people that review movies professionally, and people that that are car magazine reviewers, where
Okay.
I think, I hate to say it, there needs to be like a term limit on movie reviewers, because these people get
interesting
too,
concept.
or people that review audio equipment.
They're too stuck.
Once you review a Rolls Royce and a Ferrari, you can't clearly review anything else.
A Ford Tempo.
Right, and you start reviewing every movie, and you just get so picky that everything bothers you. Where a normal person, like when we really wanted to start this, we wanted to have movie reviews for normal people.
That's
Right,
it goes back
Joe
to
Blow.
That's our whole mission statement was reviewing movies for the way we like to watch movies.
Yeah.
Right. While we fold laundry.
Yes.
And finding that
do I
12-year-old
Or
boy.
on a Friday
finding
night,
that,
depends.
that
Yeah.
12-year-old boy inside of us, or
Yeah.
girl,
Right.
that loved Fantastic Voyage when we saw it at Brownport.
Yeah.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be a great movie to be a fun movie and a movie
Exactly.
we like.
But,
Exactly.
I got off because I was talking about horror.
You did, yes.
But
reel it in.
I'm trying to reel it in. For me, it's difficult now. So it really
Have you
takes...
reached your term limit on horror? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm just saying that
Thanks, Kelly. Yeah, are you
yeah, maybe because
Are you
coming
too
to that
picky?
conclusion?
because nothing
scares you.
Because I actually don't want to be scared. I want to be, and it's like a razor's edge where you can be like, I don't want to see poop in anything. Okay, so don't gross me out
That's a
that
preference.
way.
All right, all
but
right.
I want to be disturbed enough that you start questioning religion
Well,
and
sure.
things like that. Like
Sure.
I want to be messed up when I
Yeah.
come out of a movie.
Well, Midnight Meat Train, the guy takes a big silver hammer, smashes people, and they show all the blood just splashing all over people and eyes,
Okay.
like flowing. Remember when A-Train in The Good Boys goes through that guy's
Oh, yeah.
girlfriend?
In the
They've
movie.
shown that, except on the train. So it was pretty gross.
Okay.
But again, that's just gory,
And
not
Yes.
scary.
And I don't know if you're desensitized to that.
Right,
Dave,
I was
but-
gonna say I think that's a little bit more of you being desensitized, because that would affect me. That
Yeah,
would gross
it
me
was
out. That
hard.
would.
That's a good point, right?
Yeah.
Dave is desensitized.
But I
It's
don't
hard to
know.
watch.
I don't know if I would call that a good horror movie. Is
Yeah.
it just like it was really gross? That's
Right.
not good.
What is good horror?
Well, that
Philosophical question.
Alien.
Hmm.
You want to be. You want the tension to build.
Sure.
We're like The Quiet Place.
So
That's why
it's about
you were
pace.
The Quiet Place. You were clenched for 2 hours.
That's the best.
White
horror-
knuckles.
White
Is that
knuckles.
the
horror.
best new modern?
That's one of
horror
them.
movies?
That's one of them. And then I would say like Midsommar is
But isn't that
is
totally
disturbing.
different? Okay.
Right, but The Quiet Place was a movie.
It depends
of
on what
re-
you're looking for too, because I don't know that I want to do that to myself to see Midsommar. That would probably affect me, like
What's-
trickle into my
what's
dreams
coming
for
to
months and
Blu-ray in
months.
another 2 weeks, so you'll be
Ooh.
coming over here to watch it.
Like you'd have to strap
Strap-
Dan into
Oh, really?
a straitjacket chair to
Okay.
get him to watch that.
Does not like horror
no,
movies?
not at all.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
coming over.
Yeah, there you go.
He's coming
You have
over.
to like trick him into
Yeah.
it.
Oh, we're gonna watch something really fun.
Yeah.
We're just watching Cars.
It's
Lock
girls.
the doors.
You turn on the lights afterwards, and he's just like weeping, like.
Oh God.
So it is definitely dependent on your tastes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Me, what have I been watching? I have been on second shift been watching nothing. So, the Island, that's all I've been watching. That was about it. I tried to cram that in.
And it.
And
It, okay,
But that's
right, but
pretty much
yeah,
for
we
1
talked about
week.
it.
Right, that's a big movie.
Right, I've been sleeping mainly.
And Carnival Row, you caught some of
Carnival
that
Row.
too.
Gosh, I have been watching
There you
stuff.
go.
It's that second shift. He doesn't remember what happened to him last week.
Yeah, it was,
Need a lot of coffee.
it was crazy. Well, that's it. We gotta get back to the Packer game.
Wait, I
Wow.
thought about news. No news.
No news.
No
All
news.
right.
Oh.
No news is good news.
Right?
We'll get
We'll get around to it next time.
We'll double up on news next week.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I think the shows you were talking about on Netflix is kind of like news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's new?
Well,
There wasn't phenomenal trailers out this week, so
they'll be there next week. We can
Yep.
talk about it then.
They're still there next week.
Save your notes.
Yep.
moviechatterpodcast@gmail.com. Tell Don what you think of him. You've been looking at him.
That
You've been
sounded
watching.
like bait.
Are you watching the YouTube video of Don right now?
Oh, please do. Please go to our YouTube channel, Movie Chatter Podcast.
We're waving at you right now. Hi.
We're waving to you now. Yes, subscribe, watch that, watch our stupid videos from 10, 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, you
They're
have some.
entertaining.
Yeah, there are some painful ones out there, but
We just got to put them out there. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You wanted them out there, so now they're out there.
yeah.
Is this Carthex? What?
Cathartic.
Cathartic.
Yes, it is.
A cleaning of your soul. Showing this. You're so honest.
I suppose so, in a way.
Yeah,
Just get it all
there you
out
go.
there.
Yeah.
Nothing to hide.
I would have
Yeah.
burned the video.
We're going to see Ad Astra this Thursday.
Oh.
That should be the highlight of next week's show.
Ooh, there may
Yes.
even be a critics and cars reviewing movies.
Possibly, we
one.
might
At least a
actually
snippet. Yeah.
There you
talk
go.
right from the
Right from the
ground
theater.
zero.
Cool.
There you
do
go.
Fantastic.
Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Come check us out.
Check it all out.
There you go, Don.
All right. Until next time.
Have a good week. See you, boys.
10-4, over and out.
Later. Perfect.
Yeah, wrapping it up, but Dave, thumbs up for It Chapter 2. Fantastic acting, casting. Problem, not really scary, but impressed with the little kids. Worth going to see. Thumbs down for The Island, though, on Netflix. Cool trailer, but kind of poops out. You can get lost on this one. It's a D+. Hustlers, Don says J-Lo and Constantine Wu are pretty good. It's a true life drama about strippers who strip the money from their Wall Street clients. Gives it a B, but says maybe you want to wait till you rent it when it comes around. And then we looked at 1988. Me personally, Die Hard is up on my poll of top 25. Kelly liked Roger Rabbit and Beetlejuice. Dave, Rain Man. And Don, Coming to America. Don said, if you like the Dark Crystal, see Crystal Calls. It's the making of Dark Crystal. It gives all the background on Netflix. Kelly, once again, says Carnival Row is definitely worth watching. Loves it on Amazon, especially now they have that ability to tap on the screen and get more information, which is very cool. And she also liked a show on Amazon, Mind Explained. Emma Stone explains in 20-minute shows things like dreams and memory. And I'm not too high on The Midnight Meat Train, a horror, gruesome movie with Bradley Cooper. But if you're a big Bradley Cooper fan or you like gruesome, try that on Netflix. Also on Netflix, iBoy, kind of a cool action crime sci-fi. Check it out. That's about it.